There is a pro-immigration reform rally in Washington, D.C. today.
Right now in the National Mall, in fact, closed because of the shutdown, which is wondering why this is okay when Americans were shut out of visiting the memorials. Remember the World War II veterans who came in from Mississippi and also from the state of Kansas.
Of course. Well, David Bossie is the president and CEO of Citizens United and Citizens United Foundation. He's going to try to make sense of this. David, how are you?
Well, I was good until you said that. I don't think there's any sense made of this.
So explain this. The National Mall and our national monuments and memorials are closed because of the government shutdown. They've had to furlough workers there. So why is this rally allowed to happen on the National Mall today?
Well, there's really no answer. They're claiming that this is a First Amendment case, that the Park Service is allowing them to have their rally because of the First Amendment. Well, guess what? American citizens, this is a rally for illegal immigration to become legal. Veterans or anyone in America who wants to go to visit a national monument, they want to pull off the side of the road to see Mount Rushmore, but they can't do it. It's an outrage. The American people should rise up against this. This is, and by the way, this is a perfect example. When the government can control everything, down to whether you can be allowed into the Mount Vernon parking lot or not, think about when the government controls health care. When Obama's able to control and make as painful as possible so that the American people have to pay a price for visiting monuments, whether it's in California or in Washington, D.C., he can control everything there is to do with access to health care. And that's what I think this lesson teaches us.
David, we're looking at a picture here. There's a lot of people out there in Washington. Who is this group?
Well, look, I mean, they have the unions out there. I heard it was the AFL-CIO and SUI. There's a large number of people who want to use this window, what they think is a window of opportunity to get immigration reform passed. If I'm sitting out there in America, and I can tell you I'm agitated by this enough where I would be telling the members of Congress that I talk to, make Obama pay for this atrocity, this attack on the American people, by not bringing up immigration reform, even if you were open to it.
David, I had an email exchange with the U.S. Park Police about an hour ago to ask them questions about this, why the National Mall would be open when other monuments and memorials that visitors and tourists want to see are not. They said, quote, the U.S. Park Police are at full capacity during the shutdown to protect life and property. In other words, the Park Police, not the other workers who've been furloughed, but the Park Police still have the exact same number of people on duty. They guard our monuments and memorials. So why are the other ones shut down?
Look, look, the Park Service, the Park Service workers, the police, they have a tough job. They have a hard job to do, especially when they're telling World War II veterans, you can't come to an open-air memorial. It takes more work to close it, I might add, than to leave it open, because there are no employees there other than to make sure that no vandals take place. So I think it's really an outrage that the Park Police are at capacity dealing with an immigration reform rally on a closed mall for the rest of America.
David, just one last question here. Nancy Pelosi's there, right? Or she's
That's
expected
what I
there?
heard. Yeah.
What would you tell the World War II veterans who were there last week? Well, to move the barricades to gain access in a wheelchair.
Well, clearly, Barack Obama is a president using his power to make as painful as possible, including on that greatest generation, those who gave all during World War II. The Vietnam Memorial also closed to the Vietnam vets. Korean War veterans can't go to theirs. It is an outrage that President Obama, who loves to on one hand say, why can't we all get together and meet at a table and talk? It's the furthest thing from the truth. This guy is dividing the American people at every turn, and really the American people need to stand up for it.
David, we got to run. Thank you. All good points there.
David, thanks so much. And I do want to say one last thing. According to the email that I got from the U.S. Park Police, they say they will allow the Honor Flight veterans to visit their memorial starting now.